life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary things will happen to me and you. Me and you. Ordinary Abraham, he was just a man, but he'd kill his son for the price of a lamb. And let us consider ordinary Job, who lost it all, but in God had his hope. Now ordinary David, a little shepherd boy, brought down Goliath with a stone and a toy. Sweet little Jesus, ordinary child, the carpenter's first son, humble and mild. If anybody told you he'd be Messiah, you probably would laugh it off, I know. So let us have a
Good morning, you're welcome to the Workplace Series Show on Lagoonradio. I'm happy to have you on another episode on the Workplace Series Show. Today, how are you doing? Today is the 28th day of July 2021. Hope your goals and your plans are in line. Have you reviewed them? How are you? Because I'm particular about you. Without you, there's no Workplace Series. Without you, we can't talk about issues. And if there are no issues, we won't be having shows on Lagoonradio. I'm officially welcoming you to the show today. I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I'm fine. And I'm sure you are also fine today. Yeah, the weather this period is quite funny, so you need to protect yourself. The cold, I don't know. I saw a post on Twitter. Someone said, okay, not on Twitter, we are not on Twitter, but the screenshot, the person said that if you are AA at this time and you don't fall ill, then your AA is questionable. I found that hilarious, but I'm just saying that the weather is not really that cool for everyone, so you need to protect yourself. If there's a need for you to turn off the AC at your workplace, please do that. Just make sure you are healthy, because it's those that are healthy that will do the work eventually. You're welcome to the Workplace Series Show on Lagoonradio. The Workplace Series Show is there to tell you all about the workplace, tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, tell you more about career development, personal goals, tell you how workplaces in Nigeria need to be healthy, even the ones that are coming up, businesses. Sometimes when we talk about the workplace series, someone is saying, okay, is all about the corporate world. No, we are also particular about the businesses, small businesses, medium, because also those are businesses actually for workplaces. And if there's no money, there's where we go to every morning. So that is why the Workplace Series Show is there. We are concerned about everyone, those that work in this particular organization and those that work. We want to know more about the workplace, and we want to educate all our viewers to make sure that everyone is, informed about what you do. Ignorance is not an excuse. There was a time I suffered from ignorance. I didn't know what was attainable for me, or I didn't know, but now I know. So we really thank God for the Workplace Series. Sometimes when we come to the show, we tend to read more, do more research, because we cannot say what we don't know. And that is why the Workplace Series is there to inform you. It's important I tell you that every Wednesday, 11 a.m., the Workplace Series Show comes up. And I'm your host, Lawrence Itoro. And you can follow us on all our social media platforms at Lagoon Radio Nigeria on Facebook, Lagoon Radio NG on Instagram. And of course, you can listen live at our website, www.lagoonradio.ng. You can download our app on Google Play Store, Make sure you listen to all our shows today, and of course always. What exactly is today's topic? Today's topic is companies map. When I saw a post on LinkedIn 2 days ago, and I said, okay, what can we do to make sure that people have this how many organizations have this company's map? Is it obtainable? Is it something you can draft out? Have you been following it? If you have, your employees, do they know about it? Those are things we need to know. I know is a new thing for some people. They have not heard it before. And even to surprise you, the first time I saw a company's map was from a startup. The startup was not even up to a year. You know, I know some people most of the documents are not accessible, but I was so happy to have seen this company's map, and it gave me an insight on what to talk about today on the show. So what are we going to talk about? I'll talk about the company's culture. Most especially, we are looking at the company's culture map. Yes, company's map is fine, but we are very particular about the culture of that company. What is the direction of that company? What exactly is company's map? I'll tell you all about it when I come back from this short break. And I have instances. I have two international companies I'll be using as a case study, and I'll use two local, also international, that are here in Nigeria. We use those companies as a yardstick to measure what we have as small organizations and upcoming organizations in Nigeria. And the first question you need to ask yourself: are you really living that LD, workplace? You should ask yourself, if you're a CEO, you're HR, are you helping to promote LD workplace at your workplace? Are people coming to work every day and they're happy and not, there's some stress there are some things that are avoidable. That's something that we can avoid. Are you making things difficult for the next neighbor in the workplace? If that is so, then you need to look at it very well. Make sure that the next neighbor is enjoying the workplace, earning with convenience. That is achievable. I know, and I'm convinced that is achievable. When I come back from the short break, I'll tell you all about company's culture map. What is obtainable? What exactly do we need it for? How do we track it? Where should it be in the work organization? And when should we give it out to employees? And what exactly is important of this culture map in that organization that you work with? Do you have? Stay close to Lago Radio. Stay close to the Workplace Series Show. I'll be right back after this short break.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana. Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami
You are listening to Lagoon Radio. You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
You're welcome back to the Workplace Series Show on Lagoon Radio. Thank you so much for still listening to the Workplace Series Show on Lagoon Radio. Before I went on that break, I told you that our topic is company's map, right? But we are particular about the company's culture map. You know, when I was looking at this topic critically, I was saying that, okay, there are so many documents that are necessary in the workplace. I usually talk about the job description more because it relates to the employee. Now I'm talking about the company's map because now it relates to the organization. I put out a post yesterday. I said the company's map is as important to the is very important to the employee and the organization, just as CV is important to the job seeker and the HR. So without the company's map, how will organizations survive? Because a company's map, as the name implies, map it gives you direction, is a guide on how organization work, what they do, what their future plans are. There is, if you enter some organization, you see it at the entrance. Some they send it via mail maybe when you get the job. Some is in the CEO's office or maybe at the entrance or at the passage. The company's map is there to remind employees, to remind the CEO, to remind everyone that don't forget how we work and what we want to achieve. And most times when we get our job, when we are giving that that messages or that message on our mail that we got the particular job, we tend, when after we've been given that what they call it now, the recommendation letter or maybe acceptance letter, there's no other documents attached to it. You are asked to resume, and you can be should I say fortunate to even have a job description. For some organizations that don't know, job description is important. So as you have your job description, you should also have your company's map. Your organization should send it to you that you should read. They should give you time. Put time to read about the organization. You should read about what they are doing. It's just like a company's manual. What the organization is all about. What their mission statement is. What their vision statement is. And how they work. what they are doing and how they are promoting their work, the community service, their CSR, all those things are very important. Why do I say that? We are building a kind of workplace that you are not just looking at yourself, you're looking at community, you're looking at others. You're not just concerned about just making money or just earning at the end of the month. This is 28th of July. I know a lot of people have received their alert. Why some have not received? Some are expecting. Of course, I know your organization is doing something about that. But after that, there should be something your organization is aiming for, apart from paying salaries, making sure that products are meeting the right person, they are meeting a need. There's something that they should be doing. That is why the company's map is. And I took a lot of time to look at different companies' map. I discovered that I won't tell you, let me not just shout about it. Many people don't have companies' map. Many organizations don't have. I struggled to get some. The organization that I thought, okay, they are so popular, they don't have. And if you don't have, I don't know what's happening. This is just a call to action of the Workplace Ratio. Your company does not have a company culture map. So it's important, please, call stakeholders, call key persons in your organization, have a meeting, have a section, and talk about the map, what your organization is all about, what you're doing, what you'll be doing, and what your work is all about. Some people don't have. It's something that which is supposed to be accessible. It's something I can go to the internet and look for. I can say, okay, I need the company's map. I should get it. But we don't have access to that. If I ask for a company's map for the workplace series, we have ours. I'm not trying to compare, but these are the important documents that we need to have, just like the job description. When you're putting out a vacancy out, you see the job description, what your role will what you'll be doing when you eventually get the job is everywhere. There's no send me a DM, then I will send you the job description. No, it's already there. So if you cannot meet up with that, then you shouldn't apply for that job. If you don't have experience in what they are seeking, you shouldn't apply for that job. It's a guide to those job seekers that are looking out for jobs. Job description is a guide, just as a company's culture map is a guide. Now I'm asking the question, what exactly is your company's culture map? What is it saying? I was reading on social media one time and someone asked, what's your company saying about workplace harassment? People that are comfortable harassing people in the workplace are sitting comfortably on their seat every day and they are resuming at work. What's your organization doing? Those kind of people need to be sent home or face a particular trial or something. You can't be harassing people at the workplace. It's just like women harassment in the workplace or racism or the rest. You can't be comfortable doing that as maybe you're a top CEO or so. What is your organization doing about it? As you're getting a job, you're supposed to have that company's map. You know that, this is my organization. When it comes to anything harassment, they don't take it lightly. They fight for you. When it comes to so and so, they know that, no, this is my organization. When it comes to that, they must, find a way to solve that problem. What problem is the organization solving? And is there really human rights? I'll give you an instance. I was at a filling station some time ago. I think I had a post on my status one time. Something happened, so I asked them, why are you deducting from my pay, blah blah blah. And the guy said, see, this is the law, this is what our company is saying. I'm like, I don't know about it. Your company is saying that you people should deduct from what I want to buy just because. Why? What's the company telling us? Do you want me to continue to patronize you? So I found out that is just the environment. I don't want to every time we blame Nigeria, or I just feel maybe it's just the mentality. We are not really informed that there are some things that we shouldn't do in the workplace. And what will guide an organization that have set up companies all over Nigeria, even outside, is the company's map. What happens to people that violate those things? Harassment. We don't really talk about harassment. Why? Because a lot of people have violated it. They don't want to talk about it. So now the culture map in your organization, how is it attainable? Is it something obtainable rather? Is it where should we see it? You should see it everywhere. It should be sent to your mail. Every employee should have. When should you have it? At the beginning of your when you start resuming, or maybe when you start your job, you should have your company's map at your fingertip. When I mean at your fingertip, accessible. It can be in your mail. They should give you time to study. So by the time you violate it, they'll know that, oh, maybe you're not suitable for that organization. I'll give you an instance of two organizations, international organizations, that we need to look at. And I was impressed to see what they have as their, map, what they have as their culture map. And what interests me in all of this, organizations like Apple, Google, and other organizations, what interests me is that they don't use human rights they don't use it to play. What's the organization saying about human rights? In Nigeria, the right to speak is actually hindered, because you can really speak the truth. When you speak the truth, something might happen or so. It's not totally free. Let me use that word. But is the organization making people talk? Like when they want to talk, is that fully human rights expression of human rights in your organization? Are people allowed to speak when there's a violation of rights, when people are harassed, when there is something in the workplace, something that is going against the morale of the organization? Are people allowed to speak, or are they allowed to sweep it under the carpet? May things not happen that issues like this begin to be swept under the carpet in your workplace. By the time things continue to mount up, you'll be able to address those issues. That's why you need those companies map. You need companies culture map. You need it in your organization. And if you don't have it, it's important you have it now. I'll tell you how you need to, the system you need to look, what are the elements you need to look out for in a culture map in your organization. The organization is comprises of different culture. So how do you handle someone from the Yoruba area? How do you handle someone from the south? How do you have someone from the east of Nigeria in one organization? If there's no company's map, there'll be conflicts, and that is why you need a company's map. I'll go on the short break. When I come back, I'll tell you two companies that I found interesting, and I looked at their company's map, and of course I saw something similar to what they do, and I think an organization in Nigeria should emulate that. I'll tell you all about that when I come back from the short break. My name is Lauren C. Toro. Stay close to Lagoonradio. Stay close to the Workplace Series Show. I'll be right back.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
Worship you today, in you I put my trust. ever speaks of your glory and the earth of your beauty. Your love is new every morning, and your faithfulness is ever sure. I say ever speaks of your glory and the earth of your beauty. Your love is new every morning, and your faithfulness is ever sure. For you are the great and mighty God, so greatly to be praised. You're beautiful for situation. You are the joy of the whole world. For you are the great and mighty God, so greatly to be praised. You're beautiful for situation.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio. You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
You're welcome back to the Workplace Series Show on Lagoonradio. You're still on to our topic, company's culture map. What is your company's culture map? If you're listening to me and you've not drafted something, you've not done anything, you don't even have a culture map, then you should find a way to draft, find a way to sit down with your team to make sure that there's a culture map in your organization. Culture map is important because we have different people coming to work coming to work with you. They are from different ethnic groups. How do you accept them? What's culture map is supposed to give you an insight to the working relationship, the style, the tendencies in your organization, what is obtainable. What are you accommodating these different people? Except you tell me that you are the only one. If it's a one-man business, and then is quite understandable. But when a one-man business is growing, you will need someone. You can't do it on your own. You would definitely employ someone. And when the person comes, the person is coming from another background. So how do you help the person, understand your principle as an organization. Three things, elements that I've actually looked out for in companies I'm going to tell you about is the three elements is divided. The three elements actually contain the behavior, the outcome, and of course, leadership. So, if your company's map or your culture map is not within those three elements, then you should review it again. The outcome should be what you want to achieve with all you have stated down on your company's map, on your culture map. What you want to achieve over the years, in a short time, in a long time, what do you want to achieve, and how do you want people that are living with you? What kind of behavior are they bringing? Are you changing their mentality? Is there something you're doing? Are you welcoming them? Are they feeling relaxed in their workplace? And what kind of leadership quality are you bringing to the table? Most of the companies map that I've seen are actually, mutual. They consider the employee and the employer. They consider the organization as a whole. So I'm looking at two organizations that I really love, Apple and Google. Apple, they are they are in charge of innovative product development, telephone services, and all that. And of course, Google, internet. Google has actually taken over everywhere, but it's cool. I look at these two companies, and I want to grow my organization in that light. And when I went to search for them. They are all public companies. They have shareholders, and people have shares a part of the company. And also, what I noticed is that they have up to 10,000 employees over, and of course they have structure. They have this culture. Imagine Google having people from Nigeria, people from Asia, people from Europe, people from another Africa, yes, coming together to work in that organization. How will Google as an organization put them together? And when I was looking at the map, I was looking at some of the sustainable elements, and I saw human rights, I saw diversity, I saw safety. Those three things actually caught my attention because that is all about culture. That's all about culture. If I'm coming from Africa to want to work in the US, I should be safe in my environment. I should have that reassurance that, okay, I'm coming to work in a healthy workplace. And also, what is your organization saying concerning, diversity? Do you appreciate people from other ethnic group? What are you saying? Are you preaching human rights? And they have it there. It's another thing to have it written. It's another thing to implement it. And I'm sure those organizations are doing well with it, because if they are not, they will be social media, you will see it. But when I look at this organization, I look out for companies in Nigeria that can emulate them. We are local, but we can actually be thinking global. These are global organizations. And those three things actually caught my attention. I was like, okay, human rights. How many organizations here have that on their list, on their map? I'm not saying we should copy but these are standard things that we need to have on our map. Culture, diversity, we need to have the human rights and a safe center. That's the workplace. Because that's the style of the organization. So what is your organization style today? If you're a CEO and you're listening to me, what kind of style are you putting in place in your organization? Is this somewhere that's comfortable? Is this somewhere that people of different culture can come and work and be happy? Is it somewhere that they can express themselves? And if there's any issue concerning harassment, they can raise it up without fear or favor? Is the organization that open to criticism? So another organization I looked at also is Apple. It's also a public company, right? And we have shareholders. We have over 10,000 employees. And what I found out is these two companies have almost the same thing, almost the same elements, almost the same points: the human rights, the safety, the culture, diversity. And I'm like, okay, what is the difference between a global company, an international company, and a local company? Is your culture map. The difference between a global company, a local company, and an international company is the culture map that you put in place. But we are local. We are local. We are turning that height. What are you putting? Can people say their mind, their procedures? I was talking to someone yesterday, and he said, "Oh, Ichoro, do you know that this guy is in the US? You are rest assured, because any employer can just fire you like that without notice. They can't just fire you like that without notice. But here in Nigeria, you are even scared. You don't know what is obtainable. By the time you go to work, anything can come up. Really, is that safe environment? An organization that started some days ago, within 2 days, he has already fired. No reason, just told them to go home. How? Right? That is why that culture map is it will give you direction on what your organization is. You can't be putting human rights at top of your list and what you're practicing is different. So there's a need for local organization to emulate these global organizations that are doing amazingly well. And of course, I know organizations in Nigeria that are trying their best, trying to make sure that they inculcate all these things in place so that their employees are happy. One of the reasons why culture map is important is for employees' engagement. I've always been saying it, employees are more. Google is just one company, and it has over 10,000, employees. 10,000 ambassadors for Google automatically. Same thing with Apple. We have over 10,000 employees, over 10,000 ambassadors for Apple. The same thing with other organizations. You have 30 employees, 10,000 ambassadors for your organization. So the culture map will promote employees' engagement. It will give clarity for the company's goals and objectives, right? It will also give that guide for anyone coming into your organization. And okay, he sees that these people, they don't joke with their employees' rights, or they don't joke with you don't just harass anybody and go like that. They will know. Not that you prefer your yes. I was talking about client employee. I think it was last 2 weeks we were talking about it. Loving your clients more than your employee. Those two people are very important. But how do you make sure that you balance the two relationship? Your clients cannot just walk in and just do anyhow to your employee, and you're looking and the employee have no say, expecting that you will say something, and you just kept quiet just because. How do you handle that kind of situation? As a culture oriented company, as a company that is putting people first, you should have a structured company's map. When I go on the short break, I'll tell you more about the local company that I have, and though they are international too, but they are in Nigeria. I'll tell you more about it when I come back from this break. Hope you're learning. I'm learning, and I want my organization to be bigger. And of course, I want to make sure that there's a culture map in my organization where everyone can see. I hope you are doing that, and I hope you are jotting things down. My name is Lauren Sito. I'll go on the short break. When I come back, we'll talk about the local organizations and what is obtainable.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
We will take us down and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. Here we are as a people with one heart. For one cause, we're determined to rebuild there's hope for us all. A land where there's hope for us all. We have will defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll have will defend our land.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
You're welcome back to the Workplace Series Show on Lagoonradio. About the local companies that we have Nigerian Breweries and we have PZ. Those two companies I love, and I know you love them. Those that are working there, I hope you know. I don't know what to say, but when I look at the cultural map again, I discover that they are both public companies too, and they have over 1,000 employees. That is over 1,000 ambassadors for their companies. And one thing that I found fascinating is the fact that I noted human rights, equal rights, human rights as one of their what I noticed in one of their their bulletins, and that was absolute wonderful. I don't know the adjective to use. I'm just so happy. Whenever I see something like that, I feel that if you are intentional about putting out things like that, then definitely there's let's say, let me use the percentage, maybe 8% that you are implementing it in your workplace. And if you have a map in your workplace that says that there's equal rights, maybe human rights, expression in the workplace, and maybe something happens in the workplace, employees can go back to the manual, can go back to the culture map and address the issue. There can be maybe a meeting. But when there's nothing like that in sight, there's no way organizations or employees can go back and say, but there's human rights element or something on our map. Why is there no such, or why are we not doing that in the organization? It's important you put it out so that people are aware and they can follow suit. A client that's coming in and discover that in this organization this is what they do, you will have to abide by it. The fact that you are doing your work well, you are being productive, and your clients are seeing it, they will want to obey it. It's just in Nigeria, if the roads are very great and no one is throwing things on the floor in that street, no one that is coming outside want to try it, want to put things on the floor. I was in Uyo last year. I'm not trying to advocate, but the place is neat. The streets are neat. You can't come all the way from another state and want to dump things on the road. Your conscience will tell you. That is why there's a map in every organization. I just use that as an instance. It will give you that insight, that direction, what the organization is all about. Should I say now that employees, if you don't see a culture map in an organization, ask for it? I should say that, yes. Ask for it. What's your culture map? I received a culture map slip from an organization some months ago, and it took me 2 days to look at it very well, to read all over again, because it was fascinating. It was so exciting. And that was what they were doing. It's not that they wrote it in the paper and at the end of the day, they were not doing it. Writing it down is another step. Having it in your head is the first step. Writing it down and implementing it is the ultimate step. Please, organization, if you are yet to have that, please make sure that you have a company's map at the entrance, in the office. Send by mail to people. And even after doing the meeting, make sure that people reference that map. Is there anything that they are doing that is contrary to what is written in the map? You should ask questions. But we don't like to ask questions so that we'll not be bombarded with questions too. Organizations that are yet to meet up. We are local, but we need to think global. All these organizations that I pointed out, they have things in common. And, I look forward to, making sure that these things are in all organizations. I saw a post on Instagram. The person said you have to sign a workplace harassment, what they call it, document first before you are employed. Yes. So that when you come, you know that this is what is obtainable. If you harass anyone sexually in an organization, this is what is obtainable for you. What is the right? Are women having the same right as men in the organization? It's not that because I'm married, I'm single. That thing happened to me. I will not lie to you. Because someone said I'm single, I don't need a raise. But I'm still single. Do I still need a raise? I do. I work hard. Someone said it because he's married, she's single. She should work so hard. She should even stay after 5 p.m. because she's single. She doesn't have nowhere to, what she rushing home for. That is what. You can't say because I'm single, I should stay at work after 5 p.m. because, except I want to do that. So the culture map is something that is obtainable. Every organization should have. Small organizations in Nigeria, please have a culture map. And it's something you need to send to employees immediately they get the job, just with the job description and all. Make sure they have it. Let them know. Let them cultivate. By the time we have very good, culture map, orientation will start changing because people are coming from different backgrounds. Orientation will start changing and people will become the best of themselves. Why? Because someone that is coming to do something contrary to what is on the map, by the time you see the punishment for it and you don't want to lose your job, you have to adjust to what it is. So the culture map is very important, and I really, really advise organizations to have, no matter how small. Someone said, oh, Itoro is corporate. Your business, you should have a culture map. You should have a culture map. Your aim for that business is that it to grow. So if you don't have a culture map now, is it when it's already big, you now start saying, no, I want to do culture map. Do it now. The workplace series is there to teach you. The workplace series is there to inform you. The workplace series is there to bring to your notice in case you forgot. And one of the things I'll bring to your notice today is that you need to recommend someone for a job. It's an assignment I put out on my social media platform. I don't know, I'm passionate about that. I don't know why I did that, but there was a need for me to say that you need to recommend someone for a job. You know someone that needs a job, recommend them. That's another way to show kindness in the workplace. I was recommended for a job. You can also do that. I'm doing that. You should do that. Stop hoarding jobs. Nigeria, Lagos, stop hoarding jobs. Stop keeping jobs. Give people, recommend them. If they are good, they are good. Let them go for the job. Let them make ends. You can't be... there's so much to be said, but I want you to recommend someone for a job today. If that's the only thing you would do for July, I'll be very excited. The Workplace Series show will be very excited. It's salary week already. Make sure you make use of your salary. There's so much you can do. You can also invest. Make sure you do that. There's so many things that you can do with your salary, no matter how small. The Workplace Series is there to educate you and make sure that you earn with convenience, not for just for now, for the future. My name is Lauren Sito. I'd like to say thank you for listening to me today, and I hope you recommend someone for a job. I'll see you next week on another episode on the Workplace Series show. My name is Lauren Sito.
You are listening to
something, and the way some of them like you want to say, like you control the system. Son is talking about the system. It is a fraud.